Not sure where to get out this summer and explore new things? Why don't you try one of your county parks? Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Wisconsin's Outdoor Explorer podcast. I hope you are having a great day whenever you are listening to this podcast. Today I want to talk a little bit about county parks and Wisconsin's county park system. You know, I really enjoy visiting a state park. There's a lot they offer. There's a lot of them throughout the state. They're all unique to their area and all provide you with a unique experience every time you go. But what if you can't get to one or any of the state parks? You know, whether it be cost or travel or whatever it is, whatever the reason you can't get there, you haven't been able to get to state parks as much as you'd like to. Well, we're talking about the alternative today, and that's the county park system that pretty much every county in Wisconsin has. In my opinion, the Wisconsin county park systems are very underrated, and they're often overlooked for destinations. You know, most of the time we think of destinations, we think, the Dells as the water park or, someplace in the Northwoods like Minocqua or even Door County. And we don't really think of our county parks as someplace we could go on vacation or just to enjoy for a day. And they're, in my opinion, a perfect place to plan day trips. And oftentimes they can even offer a little bit more than our state parks. I recently came across a book that said that there are over 600 county parks available throughout the state. So compare that to the number of state parks, and there should be an opportunity for you to get to a county park that's actually pretty close to you. And by just doing a little bit of research, you're going to find one that's going to cater to whatever you really want to do to get outside. So that's what we're talking about today. I'm going to talk about some of the advantages of county parks and the county park systems and some of the things that you can do that maybe you didn't think were possible at a county park in Wisconsin. All right, if you're like me, the first thing that really comes to mind is hiking. It's an easy activity to do with your family if you have kids. It's easy to do if you're older. You can set your own pace. And Wisconsin is just full of great hiking trails. Let's face it, if you're like me, it can be difficult to get away from daily life during the week to get out and hike. You got your job, you've got kids' activities, just life is busy during the work week, and it's hard to get out there and hike any trails during the work week. Unless you make a good effort to get out there and schedule your time. But that doesn't work for somebody like me, and I'm sure it doesn't work for somebody like you either. Most of the time when we hit the trails, it's on weekends. We like to go all over the place, and most of the time we go to places that a lot of other people like to go to. And that makes it trails full of people all trying to take advantage of our trail systems at the same time. Now, one thing I found out about the county parks is they offer a little bit more solitude on those trails. Now, you're going to run into trails that aren't as wore down, so they might have, more debris on them or things like that. But if you're looking for a great place to hike in a more secluded area where you're kind of by yourself and you don't have people pushing you, there's hikers out there who just like to go as fast as they can, just put as many miles on as they can. And you don't have to deal with the hikers that are crowding the state park trails. County park trails are usually a little bit more open and a little bit less traveled. And I think that really is an advantage for somebody who's just looking for maybe a few hours of peace and quiet out in the woods. And you can still hike some really nice trails that go by rivers, go through wooded areas that, they offer the same things you're going to see in a lot of the popular hiking spots throughout Wisconsin. So if you're looking for a good place to hike, check out a good county park near you. And I think you're going to be surprised at how much more secluded it is and how much more quieter it is. And I think you're just going to enjoy that experience just a little bit more. Camping is like a summertime tradition in Wisconsin. We're kind of cooped up all winter, and as soon as Memorial Day hits, the campers are on the road and heading out to their favorite campsite. I mean, I remember as a kid spending most of my week packing up and readying the camper and getting ready for a weekend of camping. And most of the time when we camped at one of the county parks that was near our home. We enjoyed the fact that it really wasn't too far away from home, but yet it was far enough away that you felt like you were getting away from your daily life a little bit. And it was just a great way for us to get out and experience Wisconsin outdoors and have fun and just enjoy the time together as a family. And at the same time, we could go hiking, we could go biking, you could fish, there was, beaches, you could go swimming at some of these campgrounds. And with the same as the hiking, they were a little bit quieter than more of the popular areas. If you go to camping destinations that are throughout Wisconsin, that's fine. But if you're looking for something a little quieter, try a county campground. And most of the time the fees are a little bit lower. You might not have some of the amenities that you would get at some of the bigger campgrounds, but depending on what you're looking for in your camping experience, you're going to be surprised at how many great opportunities there are out there throughout the state where you can camp at some of these good county parks. But like most places, you make sure you check the availability online. I checked out a few campsites online here while I was writing this up and thinking about county parks, and you still have to, reserve your spots. It's always a good time to, go online and check all that out before you actually take off. Yeah, county parks are a great place to go. And I remember when I was a kid, there was at least a handful of those parks all around us. So, if we wanted to go here one weekend and, go there a different weekend, we got the same camping experience just in a different location, and we saw different things and we could do different things. And it was really fun as a kid to go do that and experience kind of, Wisconsin outdoors at an early age with my family and friends. And I highly suggest when you're planning a trip, don't be afraid to look for a campground near you where you can get out and again, you're not far from home. You don't have to spend a lot of gas money traveling very far to reach some of these campgrounds. So definitely when you're planning your next camping trip, check your local county park and see what they have to offer. One of the greatest things about Wisconsin's county park system, in my opinion, is how close they can be to your home. Most counties throughout the state have at least one park, and that means for most of us, we're not far from that park. And that makes planning a simple day trip or even a half-day trip even easier. That's just nice to get the family out of the house or get away from life for a little bit, just for a few hours. We've planned a lot of simple picnics with our kids, and what's great about these county parks is they'll have a lot of playground equipment there, so the kids can go play on that, and my wife and I can relax and go for a walk around the park while they're playing, and you can still see them, or you can just read a book, or if you find a nice park by some water, you can go fishing, and you can do this all within a day, half a day, even if you want to get away for just a couple hours. That is what my opinion is really nice about these parks is they're not far away. Where I live in central Wisconsin, I can probably count, anywhere up to 10 different parks in my area that we can get to in less than a half an hour. That's really cool in my opinion, because that means we can plan a lot of short trips when our life does get busy, because summer is a busy time for a lot of us. If you got kids that are in softball or whatever, baseball, or, whatever activity they're in, whatever activities you have going on, it's busy. We all know that. So just to get away for a couple hours at one of these places just kind of helps you reset that button a little bit. And that you're not far from home. You don't have to do a lot of planning, which I think is really nice. You don't have to, if you're going to take a 2-3 hour car trip, to have all the things that you're going to need to keep everybody occupied and keep the kids quiet. It's just, these are short trips so that you can get there quickly, enjoy the time, and get back to what you were doing before. I think as a parent, that really is a much more enjoyable time than thinking about spending, 2 or 3 hours in a car going to a park far away when you might have one right there in your backyard. I think one thing that is overlooked is some of the unique things that you're going to see in a county park. There's more to our county parks than just hiking, fishing, and camping. There are numerous opportunities to see things that you won't see anywhere else throughout the state. For instance, you can visit the Cherney Marble Caves in Manitowoc County, or you can visit the highest point in Wisconsin, Timms Hill County Park in Price County, or you can even visit one of the last original wooden covered bridges in Wisconsin at the Covered Park Bridge in Ozaukee County. So just by doing a simple, quick research, you'll be surprised at how many different attractions are available at one of these county parks. Now, you might end up paying a little small fee just to get in, but it's still a small price to pay where you can, again, it's probably a short drive to where you are. And even if it's not, you're going to a place that might be unique to that area, and it will teach you a little bit more about Wisconsin. I'm going to leave some links here in the show notes of some of these places that you can go visit. I'm also going to leave a link in the show notes to the county park list throughout Wisconsin so that you can just click on that and click on your county and see how many parks are near you. Wisconsin's county park systems are a great way to get out and see Wisconsin. I think it's very underrated how we treat our county parks. And I think we should learn to take advantage of these parks. You know, most are free, especially to things like picnicking, hiking, biking, playgrounds. You know, like I said before, some charge a small fee or ask for a donation for certain activities. For the most part, they're a very affordable way to enjoy a day. Don't be afraid to just get out there and see what different county parks have to offer that are near you. You know, just, start close and keep venturing your way out. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised at some of the things that you're going to find at these county parks. And I think what's really going to be neat for you is you're going to discover new things as you're out being one of Wisconsin's outdoor explorers. Before I go, I want to mention that, we've got the YouTube channel. I've got the Facebook page. Make sure you get out there and check those out. I'm going to start posting more videos as I talk about some of these areas. For instance, I was recently up to Rib Falls County Park, shooting some drone footage up there. So make sure you check out the YouTube page for that to see that video. And feel free to comment on what you hear on the podcast, or if you've got ideas for future podcasts, definitely reach out to me and give me some of your ideas. Give me your thoughts about how the podcast is going. We've been really growing it. We've been getting some great responses from a lot of people. And I hope that you have been enjoying it as much as I've been enjoying putting it together. Again, thanks for joining me on the Wisconsin's Outdoor Explorer podcast. I am your host, Jason, and I will talk to you again next week. Thanks for listening to the Wisconsin's Outdoor Explorer podcast. For more great information about being an outdoor explorer, visit our website at wisconsinsoutdoorexplorer.com. Be sure to check out the blog page and follow us on social media. And don't forget to subscribe to this podcast wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.